Welcome back to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is another bit by bit on Tinkers'Construct for 1.8.9, what I'm calling Tinker's Combos. Today, we're covering how you can make the best picks. To start off with, I'm going to explain that there are actually about 3 stages that you might end up going through in the progression for Tinkers'Construct, and that is where you just have some wooden tables that you're able to construct things with. For instance, your part builder, your stencil table, and your crafting station, and you won't necessarily be available to a tool forge yet. You might have access to that, but it is pre-Smeltery, so you will not have built a Smeltery just yet, because that sometimes does take a bit to collect the tools for that, and in the process you may need to have yourself some tools already. On top of that, I will have so it's kind of like an early game, pre-Smeltery, mid-game, post-Smeltery, and end-game, where everything is maxed out and you've pretty much got all access to all the materials that you want. So, to get started with the pre-Smeltery stuff, we're going to be making pickaxes today. And this is specifically items that will end up, just getting one block at a time. Now, as much as you can add on your expanders and, vertical and horizontal, we're not going to be doing that because those are best applied to a hammer. Often, if you just need a singular block and you don't want to end up getting the one next to it because it's going to end up spilling out lava or something crazy like that, I find that it's often best not to have those kinds of things attached to a pick. So, moving along, pre-Smeltery. The best handle that I could possibly come up with for this is basically going to be a bone handle for early on. You're going to want to try and find skeletons. This seems to be a common theme with a lot of stuff. The bone tools are often very good in general terms. Specifically, the handle has a good durability, handle bonus, plus the regular durability, and it's relatively easy to find. I mean, you just need to find some skeletons at night, and hopefully they'll drop you some bones. Now, once you go post-Smeltery, you've got one up and running, I recommend going for Night Slime. Now, if you're not familiar with Night Slime, allow me to bring up the recipe here, you end up needing to get yourself some seared stone, which is just regular stone tossed into a Smeltery, plus liquid purple slime, which is from purple slime you'll find on Purple Slime Islands, and molten iron. Now, allow me to demonstrate where you get purple slime from. In case you've forgotten, this is a Purple Slime Island. So, you're going to want some of this congealed purple slime, possibly fight some purple slimes that will end up spawning, and they may end up dropping slime balls as well. But once you end up getting these, you can then break these down into regular slime balls. Once again, that is this post-Smeltery, kind of a mid-game. Essentially, you'll have to, of course, find a slime island in order to obtain those for your night slime items. But until then, a bone handle will do quite nicely. Now you'll notice the durability bonus multiplier that you get from Night Slime is not that good, but the durability bonus that you get from it is, so that kind of helps offset it, especially early on. The multiplier isn't as important as the regular durability bonus is. But you can also get the Unnatural ability. Now Unnatural, essentially, I have a regular wooden pick here that has been attached with multiple pieces. I highly recommend against doing this because the splinters are going to hurt you. But if you put Unnatural in there, you'll see it says the tool mines faster the higher its mining level is above the required one. So if I have a tool that essentially is able to mine the highest item there is, namely cobalt and ardite, it will end up mining faster with any lower level items. So it gains bonuses, especially against like stone and stuff, which is your entry level stuff that you can mine. So this can really help you out considerably. Speed things along with this little bonus on there. Now moving on, we also have, a few of a selection of bindings. Now, I will end up telling you specific selections that I choose for this, but I'm explaining your options here because you actually can customize a few to your liking. But essentially, your paper, stone, cactus, and bone bindings all will be fine, whatever is most prevalent for you to make. You might have a bunch of sugarcane nearby. You might just want to go for the stone so that you end up getting the cheap bonus on there. The paper, it's not really worthwhile to add extra modifiers this early on, but you can if you really want to. The cactus, it can be helpful, but you got to be careful. It can be, if you end up adding it to the head, then it'll end up hurting you. But as the binding, it's just fine. And bone, of course, not quite as common as the other materials are, is going to give you the best bonus on there. Now, preferably, I recommend green slime. Now, this might not be found by you at this point, so therefore, one of these materials might be easier. But until you're able to find some green slime, this one here is probably going to be your best, just because it gives you a really good durability bonus, 350, so that really allows you to mine a lot more stuff before you have to do any repairs on your tool. Now moving on to after you have a smeltery, you've got your iron, which is going to give you a magnetic bonus, so therefore any items nearby will end up getting sucked up by a magnetic tool. For instance, let me grab this here and put this on here, and we'll just keep that magnetic binding on there too, and it'll allow me to have a slight magnetic aura around me. Now, it's not too far, it's maybe like 1 block, but hey, it's better than nothing, and you don't have to walk all the way up to precarious ledges anymore. So that's just a quality of life item there. And then you've got your firewood, which has the auto smelt ability. So as you end up creating your tool and you add your auto smelt to it, if you were able to mine something, let's say one of these, and I mine this, instead of it coming up as cobble, it comes up as smooth stone, because it automatically smelted it. So that can be very beneficial for you, especially early on if you're not having a lot of luck finding coal, or you just need that coal for other uses. You can actually smelt the items as you go, but you have to be careful. If you use it to mine things that you need them to be normal and not smelted, then you're going to be out of luck. Now, of course, you've got your night slime, which is going to give you your 125 durability, which is pretty darn good, and it'll also give you your unnatural bonus. So you don't necessarily have to go for a handle if you don't want to. You can just go for the binding, and therefore you can actually mix and match as you like. But moving on to the head, you can have pre-smeltery, a bone pick head, which is going to give you a really good durability bonus. It'll mine up to iron, which is great, and it also has a decent mining speed. You can also go for netherrack, which if you can end up getting into a portal, will prove pretty beneficial. I mean, it gives you a little bit more durability than the bone. It's a lot easier to come by in the nether. It also mines up to iron, a little bit slower mining speed, but it has the eridiculous bonus on there. So therefore, if you're in, let's say, the nether, or in a desert biome and so on, you will actually end up mining considerably faster in those biomes because they're hotter. So this could actually be much more useful. And if you're having trouble finding skeletons to get bones from anyway, or you have a mod like Intangible that requires a lot of bones and you're trying to save them for that, then hey, why not just go for another rack pick? It's a little more durable, a little tiny bit slower, and it has the same mining ability. Plus it has a possibility for bonuses and can work to your advantage in the nether. Now going post-smeltery, you can go with an iron pickhead, and this is where you actually end up getting magnetic too. Now it should be mentioned that if you end up going for a magnetic binding and a magnetic handle, it will end up not stacking. But if you have one of those two, because they're considered the same type of tool part, and this, you could actually stack to magnetic 3, and you can end up getting an even wider area where you get your magnetic bonuses from. But then you're kind of, hurting yourself, because it's often best to kind of spread your bonuses out. But it does allow you to mine diamonds, which is, of course, very important, but not as important as you think at this point. If you have a smeltery, then you're doing good. So allow me to continue on, and I will explain that in a moment. Now, a firewood pick, that's going to give you a really good durability bonus. It's going to be able to mine only up to level of stone, because remember, it is wood, even though it is firewood. So it's going to have a good speed again, just like an iron pick, but it also has that auto smelt bonus on there. Now, I will explain how this can actually be useful in just a moment, like I said before. Then we've got your night slime pick, which has massive durability bonus. Mines obsidian, 5.8 speed, which is a tiny bit slower than the other two. And it has a crumbling effect, which allows you to essentially mine things that you would normally harvest with your hand, like dirt or wood. It will actually mine those a little bit faster than you would with your hand, but a little bit slower than you would with the preferred tool, like a shovel or an axe on wood and so on. And on top of that, a slimy pick. Now, you would think, wait. This only mines stone as well. You've got 2 items in here that only mine stone, and this is for mid-game. How is this actually going to help me out? Well, hold on. Its massive durability bonus is really going to help you out considerably. And it's repaired with green slime, which, because it's slimy, you're going to be spawning green slimes anyway. So you'll end up spawning things that will help repair it. This can be really useful. Now, its mining speed is a bit slow, but if you can get some redstone, then you can actually offset that quite a bit. Now, this is where it comes in wonderfully. Obsidian sharpening kits. If you make an obsidian sharpening kit, which allow me to grab one here. There we go. And to make one, you essentially just put some obsidian in a smeltery, and it will create molten obsidian. Make a sharpening kit cast, and you will end up making yourself an obsidian sharpening kit. Now, of course, you can make a cast same way as you would with anything else. You can make sharpening kits out of like a flint or stone or wood, whatever you like, and then pour this over it, and you will make yourself a cast. Pour the molten obsidian in there, and you get yourself an obsidian sharpening kit. Now, you take that plus a piece of flint, and you'll end up making the tool even better. So, for instance, let me grab this slimy pick head, and we will end up putting it on this pick that we've been messing around with, and you'll see that the mining level is currently stone. I add this on here, boom, that durability goes up tremendously. I can now mine over 1,000 blocks before I end up needing to stop. Now, if I add, actually let me process that. If I add this obsidian sharpening kit plus a piece of flint, you'll notice that the level there just jumped up to cobalt from stone. It's fantastic, and it's become fortified, so therefore I can actually end up replacing different parts, including the head, if I want to in this case, and it will actually stay still fortified with obsidian sharpening kit. So this can really, really benefit you quite a lot. I mean, therefore, I now have a really durable mid-game pick that can mine up to and including cobalt. And just to show you, I have cobalt over here. It is a bit slower because it is just a regular slimy pick, but there you go. I was able to mine that. And you can also end up increasing this with different modifiers. You know, you've got your redstone, your diamond, and so on, whatnot. But the redstone, of course, is going to increase the mining speed. So, with that in place, you're able to actually kind of customize these. Now, these are just some suggestions. Now, if you go with what I am actually, my choices for early game, it's going to be this, and that is either a bone pickaxe or a bone pickaxe. Now, the difference here is I actually have a stone. Allow me to actually go into one of these here, and I will demonstrate. I have on there cheap, which increases the durability gained when you repair the tool. So you get a little bit more durability repair back, which means that the bone option is a little less expensive to use to repair with. But essentially, I have a bone tool rod, a bone pickaxe head, and a stone binding. Or you could just go for the massive amount of durability. Now watch the durability difference here. And it jumps up to 655. So this in itself actually means that you're going to be able to go much longer trips and be able to do a lot more. But you might not necessarily be able to find green slimes or slime islands too early in the game. This is why I give you a couple different options. These are like very early game. See if you can just get some bone tools, toss a stone binding on there to make it a little cheaper, and you should be able to get away with it. Now, post-smeltery, the kind of the mid-game, it's going to be kind of a variance here. I'm going to grab all three of these and show you each one. So this one here, it's more a preference thing. It all depends if you like that magnetic effect. If you have to have the blocks fall into your inventory because you're terrible at picking them up, or no matter what, the game keeps on having them launch far and far away. I recommend this, a Night Slime Tool Rod, so that you get that Unnatural bonus, which once again, the faster the Tool mines faster the higher its mining level is above the required one. The iron pickaxe head, so you can get that magnetic tube bonus on there. Also, a slime binding just for a massive durability boost. And of course, a sharpening kit, an obsidian sharpening kit. Now, all of these are going to have an obsidian sharpening kit so that it can mine the cobalt mining level. And the mining speed on this is actually 6 because it gained that from the iron pickaxe. Now, another one I have is a night slime pickaxe, and this is if you want to automatically smelt stuff. You could do a night slime tool rod, a night slime pickaxe head, and a firewood binding. What this is going to allow you to do is automatically smelt stuff. Plus, you'll get your crumble bonus, so you can end up breaking softer blocks easier while you use this tool, namely things like sand or even wood, and therefore you can actually immediately smelt those into coal if you so desire. So this can be a helpful tool as well, but it also has almost the same mining speed and can mine cobalt. And last but not least, the other option I have here, now once again, these are all just preferences of what you might like going for. This one here is just all about the night slime here. We've got night slime tool rod, night slime pickaxe head, and binding, slime binding. And this is just to max out the, if you notice here, this one is 1,000, this one's 1,100. So if you don't want to have that auto smelt option on there, you really could care less about the magnetic on there, then I recommend just going for these two so you can get your unnatural and your crumbling bonuses. Plus, you never know, you might get some slimy in there so you can kill some slimes, and it also gives you a really nice bonus. Your mining speed's still at 5.8, and you can always add on redstone on any of these 3 tools. Okay, so I bet you're all been waiting for this part. Endgame stuff. Let's see what we've got here. Pre-water temple endgame and post-water temple endgame. So often it's easier to get into the end portal and try and kill the Ender Dragon than it is to actually get into the Water Guardian temple and kill them and get the benefits in there. So therefore I made this without any water temple and with water temple info. So to start with, it's the same pick but with 3 different binding options. One being cobalt, which is lightweight, gives you a plus 10% speed bonus while mining and a 300 durability. Another option, of course, is the auto smelt, as I was talking before. Sometimes you really could care less if you're going to be doing ore doubling, and therefore you got your plus 150 durability and your auto smelt. And last but not least, iron binding for your magnetic, so you can still get that item that you just mined in front of you into your inventory easier without losing it into that pit of lava. So, what I ended up choosing, though, was the cobalt binding in the end for this tool here. I have soulbound it with a nether star. I have used a sharpening kit, though I did not need it because it is a cobalt pickaxe, and it uses a cobalt pickaxe head, cobalt binding, and an ardite tool rod. Reason for this is I get Petramore, which I will show you in a moment here. Let's see, I'll pop that in there. Petramore. Your tool loves stone. It literally wants to absorb it for durability. So as you mine stone, you will actually end up repairing or not using your durability for that. Plus, with the cobalt head, you'll get momentum, which the more you mine continuously without stopping, the faster you go. Lightweight increases the speed even further. Fortified, of course, allows you to mine cobalt to begin with, but as it is a cobalt pickaxe, you don't need to worry about that. Diamond gives you the best durability bonus, plus a slight mining speed and an attack bonus for what it's worth. Then you've got, I ended up putting on multiple levels of luck. If you look here, I've got a diamond, 1 level of redstone, and 3 levels of lapis, which is giving me luck on there. So therefore it actually has luck times 3. You see the luck is at 360 here. And I have the haste plus the soulbound from the nether star. And there you go. This is one of the options there if you have not gone to the water temple. Now if you have gone to the water temple, it's a little something different. Not too much, but a little bit. I have this one here, and it uses the same, obsidian and nether star just to get soul binding plus cobalt, which I would imagine that you'd replace the head as you go. But it has a different binding and handle, and different upgrades. So it's got a prismarine binding, it's got a sponge tool rod, 2 levels of redstone, and an emerald. So what's the difference on this one? Well, if you've got the sponge tool rod, it gives you the squeaky bonus, which is a little bit annoying to hear as you use it, but it does give you silk touch on there, and a really, really good, if you hold here, modifier, handle modifier on there. Plus, it's got 1.2 plus a durability of 250. It's excellent. Now, the binding is aqua dynamic. That one adds a nice durability bonus on it, but it gives you the ability to mine at normal speeds underwater, which is fantastic, therefore making this an all-purpose pick. You don't have to switch to another one if you go underwater. I found this to be the best slot to actually include that. And with that in mind, it actually increased the durability so much that by putting in an emerald in that slot, it actually ended up increasing the durability even further than a diamond would, because a diamond has a default durability bonus of 500, whereas an emerald increases a percentage. And once your durability is up at a certain point, this can just make it even more massive. Now, if you look, the mining speed is at 19.2 because I have 2 levels of haste on there, so it's haster instead of haste. And I will demonstrate both of these tools just so you can see how they work. Now this one, of course, has the luck on it and not the silk touch, and you can see it just speeds up and speeds up because I am using cobalt on there. And then we have the silk touch one, which will end up grabbing the tools grabbing the blocks as they are. And if you used a head, it would end up being even, it would actually end up making a really loud squeaky noise. And it actually will increase in speed as well. And you can see that it really can tear through some stuff as you continue on with the cobalt heads on these tools. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to continuing on with this series as it goes. And until next time, see ya.